Dave, we just talked to Will Smith and Miguel Rojas. They both agreed that you guys have to be better at making in-game adjustments.
Yeah, I agree with what they're saying, and I think it's sort of, this time of the season, it's not about the mechanics, your swing. It's about how can I help the team win, and find a way to move the line forward, get hits, spoil pitches, compete, and there's a different level of trying. I think everyone's trying, but I think that just the next level of going with whatever swing you have that particular night, and fighting, and willing yourself to get some hits, get on base, create innings, and score runs. It's not a lack of talent. It's certainly not a lack of try, but we got to do more, and that's sort of what I see. So I agree with what those guys said, and there's a point in the season where you're kind of trying to find your swing, and we're at the end of August, and it's just about getting the job done, and finding a way to find some production. And might look ugly, but we got a kid who comes up, and he's responsible for 2 of our runs in this series, so it's and this is just fight and hunger from a young kid who's trying to stick, so you look at the talent in our room, and now obviously we've lost the first 2 here. Pavetta's had a nice year, but regardless of what the game plan is, and they have game plans as well, right? And so there is a situation, like the guy said, you do got to read and react, and you got to kind of understand what's happening in a ball game and make your adjustments.
Is that, Miggy was saying he felt like it was maybe too big of swings, especially like tonight when Nestor's pitching you guys away, not just kind of taking what he's given. Like, is that kind of what you're hitting on, is guys trying, but maybe not, putting together the kind of at-bats, especially when you're in a run like this?
Absolutely.
Kind of manufacture some things.
Absolutely. You saw it last night with Manny, guy in scoring position, he shortens up and lines the ball to center field, and Laureano tonight shortens up, and he's a Deadpool guy and blocked the ball the other way to drive in a couple runs, and just finding ways to create offense. And those guys are good, pitchers are good, and so you have to again take what the pitcher gives you and try to create something. And you can't always go for that big swing, and you got to kind of shorten up. And yeah, I mean, we have it in there, we do it at times, but just collectively I just don't see us doing that collectively. And there's certain guys that are doing it, but the time of trying to find your swing or your mechanics, that all that stuff has got to take place in the cage.
Are you surprised or disappointed that you guys are in a place like that right now? Is that something that can tend to happen over the course of a season? And how do you kind of get the lineup as a whole more in that place that you're talking about?
We're going to get there. Definitely not a disappointment. It's just more of a surprise, I guess, in the sense that, we've won. A lot of guys in this room have won. The pitching's been good. The defense has been good. And so now it's just kind of getting the guys that have played important ball games and to kind of wrap their head around, helping the ball club. And, your stats are your stats, and, you got to kind of just isolate, that particular game. And again, whatever you have that night, you got to go with it. And I think good things will happen.
How does that tone get set? Is that something that has to be verbalized, or is that something that, for, like you mentioned, enough of those guys have kind of been in those October battles to understand what it's going to take? Tonight I heard some good things from our guys and along those lines. So that's a good sign.
So there's conversations that are had, but at the end of the day is once you get in that batter's box, you got to be able to, again, see it, try to put really good at bats together, and if they're nibbling, you got to kind of be able to take the base and take your walks. And tonight I think we gave up 5 walks, and so we just got to do a better job of having team offense.
Hearing those conversations after the game, just sort of walk through there.
Yeah, just guys are talking about it, talk to hitting coaches, and so there's some players are saying the right things, and yeah, it's going to change. It'll change.
What do you think of Tyler's start after cruising those first couple innings? Then the walks started to pile up a little bit.
Yeah, it was. I think that we haven't seen that one in a while, in the sense of he started off well. I thought he was great, and then the 4 walks tonight, and I think the hit batsman. So, if you're given 90 feet, all it takes is a knock. It wasn't like they were kind of cutting him to death with the base hits or slug, and it was kind of self-inflicted. So there were some close pitches that we missed, but his stuff was really good tonight.
Do you feel that the message about where you need to be as a team and as an offense is something that can spread on its own, or does there need to be more of like a formal for it?
It's. I think the conversations. I'm expecting some things to change soon because of the conversation. So it's certainly not a team meeting situation, because there's not a lot of people that are in this conversation. But again, we have the guys. They've done it before, and it's just a reminder. Let's just get back to being who we are and doing those little things, and scratching and clawing and finding ways, and again, willing yourself, your team, your offense to score some runs. And I do believe that that kind of desire will manifest itself. I do.
It's surprising that coming off last weekend, the sweep, that mentality, whatever you want to call it, hasn't carried forward.
Yeah, but if you look at last week, even there were some things that self-inflicted on those guys' parts that we got gifted some things too. So yeah, the result was great, but kind of under the hood, offensively, I still think that there's some things that we can get better at.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks guys.